Hi, it's Dr. David Green, founder and CEO of US Lead Network, the nation's leading healthcare internet marketing firm. Today's topic is how to acquire patients from Facebook. Did you know that 57% of Americans use Facebook on a regular basis? That's over 200 million active users in this country. So if there was ever any thought that your prospective patients are not using Facebook, lay that to rest. Because now is the time, if you're not already, to incorporate Facebook into your patient acquisition strategy. So what I want to do today is go through some of the easy strategies and then talk about some of the more complicated ones that you may not know about. So what we're really talking about is developing a sales funnel, also known as a lead funnel. So you start out with this amount of leads and then eventually it funnels down into those that will come into the practice. Some people may live too far away. They may be too old, too young, not have the right insurance if that's the type of practice. So, any number of those reasons will cause it to. And some of those you can peter out right away in the strategy, and others over time, you'll continue to finesse how you're advertising, acquiring patients on Facebook. So phase one of the Facebook strategy is attraction, known as awareness. People need to know that you exist. Now, this may be people who come into the practice and you ask them to like you on Facebook. And what that would then mean is that any content that you then put on Facebook or videos or whatnot, they will then potentially see that because they'll have liked you and start receiving your content. All right. This may be people who've never heard of you before, and you may be able to hit them with ads on Facebook because you've targeted people, and I'll tell you how to do that. So once you have the attraction, the awareness, then you need to nurture those folks along to help them make that buying decision. Zig Ziglar, back in decades ago, showed that it takes people about 4 to 7 times to see your brand before they make a buying decision. Google recently showed that that no longer is 4 to 6, it's up to like 12 to 15 times because of how many ads are out there. CBS showed that the average person's eyeballs are hit with about 5,000 ads every single day. So there's a lot of clutter, and what you want to try and do is focus people in so that they see your ad numerous times and get that awareness going and nurturing so that they'll then become patients. They'll then think, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to call that weight loss clinic, or I wanted to call that plastic surgeon, I just forgot his name, or something like that. So ways that you can do this nurturing could include a laundry list of options. One is email marketing. Email marketing is cheap. It's easy to do if you have the right system. We use a system called Infusionsoft, and we set up these elaborate campaigns that hit people every so often, and if they react to things that you send them, it could send them down a different path. So you can make it fairly complicated, or you can make it very simple. The key is just to get emails in front of people with good content to keep your brand awareness top of the mind. Other things that you can do include retargeting. So if you do a Facebook ad or someone comes to your website organically, you can then have what's called a Facebook pixel on the back end of that. And that pixel can then follow that person with ads from Facebook when they log back into Facebook later that night or later that day to then keep your brand top of the mind. It's the same type of thing that Amazon does when you go look at a product on Amazon and then they hit you with ads as you surf the web. It happens all the time. So now in healthcare, we've learned from Amazon and are able to use these same types of techniques on social. Now keep in mind, when you're marketing on Facebook and incorporating these other methods such as email marketing, what you're trying to do is get people through the funnel. Hopefully they'll pop out and call you or contact you before they get to the very bottom, 12 to 15 times they see you. But you've got to ask for the sale. And what I mean is that you've got to provide calls to action on your Facebook posts, on your creative ads, on your emails. Whatever you're doing with your videos, you need to provide a call to action and ask for the sale. Call us today to get a free consultation. Call us today to get 20% off of this. Call us today to get in fast. Something that is appropriate to your practice that would provide you a unique competitive advantage compared to your competition. Okay? Now, here are the components that constitute an excellent Facebook advertising strategy. First of all, you got to have a great website. All right, so a lot of people who go to your Facebook ads and their Facebook presence are going to click through to your website because they want a more detailed explanation of what it is that you offer. If your website is embarrassing, it's going to reflect very poorly on your practice, and your Facebook strategy is going to fall flat. Another thing that you want to do is to optimize your Facebook page. You know, setting up a Facebook page in 1 minute is probably not going to be the optimal way to do it. You want to have some creative imagery. You want to fill out everything that you possibly can on the back end about the practice, you know, your mission statement, values, things like that. You really want to go through that with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that you've put everything in there. Any videos that you have on YouTube or Vimeo, you should also upload to Facebook. It's a separate video platform. So make sure that you go through and look at every section you possibly can, or, you know, we can do that for you. We do it all the time. Okay. Another thing to look out for is any potential Facebook groups. You know, you may want to start a Facebook group, or you could just join a bunch of them. You know, here's an example. You're a rehab center that caters to adolescents, and you join a bunch of Facebook groups for rehab centers. You may end up with a rehab center that only caters to adults. They don't deal with adolescents. So you can be in communication in the group with those folks. They may end up referring you some business, and rightfully so, because they can't help adolescents. So one of the biggest things that you want to do in your Facebook patient acquisition strategy is to implement a content strategy. One of the ways that you can provide value to your patients before they even come in the door is to provide them advice. Doesn't have to you can put a disclaimer on there that it doesn't constitute a physician-patient interaction, you know, things like that. But what you want to do is you want to provide education. It's called utility. You provide them education, you keep them engaged, you tell them how you can solve the problem, and then they'll potentially call you for help. It's called problem. You present the problem, then you agitate it, you tell how bad the problem can become, and then you talk about the solution and how you are experts at that solution. You know, it could be tooth decay. Tooth decay is a big problem. It affects the smile of millions of Americans. You agitate is not only can it affect the smile, it can get into the bloodstream and cause all kinds of problems with diabetes and lead to an early death, you know, whatever. Then the solution is, you know, as a practice, we are able to diagnose these things, yada, yada, and we'll do a free consultation to do that. So it can be very effective with the problem, agitate, solve method of keeping people engaged. Now, a lot of people are under the impression that if you just develop a great Facebook page and a great website and you put a lot of good content on Facebook, the patients are going to come rolling in. It unfortunately doesn't happen that way anymore because, like I said, there's over 200 million users on Facebook, and there's a ton of opportunities of Facebook pages for them to go to. And Facebook's not really a search engine so much. So Facebook advertising has really come of age, and there's lots of different products that Facebook has, such as Facebook lead ads. They also have, whether it's video ads, or you can also put it in the news feed or on the right side on the page. But there's a lot of different options. They also have a Facebook audience network now, where your ads don't just go on Facebook, they also go on Instagram and other places. So it can be extremely effective. You need to do A/B testing. You really want to change those ads up frequently because 50% of the U.S. uses Facebook regularly, so you don't want to inundate them with the same ad over and over and over again. You want to change it up. And there's a few things that you can do. So one is create a custom audience. Here's an example. Let's say you're a weight loss clinic and you've been seeing patients for years. You can take that patient list with their emails, upload it into Facebook, and you can advertise specifically to those folks to see if they maybe want to come back in. Another thing you can, in addition to email marketing for those folks, another thing you may want to do is use that list to create a lookalike audience. So you don't advertise to them, but you advertise to people like them. What Facebook will do is take their characteristics, create a whole new list, and then use that as a lookalike audience. So there's a few things that you can do on Facebook that are really kind of sexy that they've used sort of big data to put together that can work in your favor. Now, one more thing that I want to mention about the Facebook patient acquisition strategy is that it can be really cost effective. The average click on Google these days is about $3. The average click on Facebook is around 50 cents or less. So although it may take more clicks to get somebody on Facebook, it can be really it's usually much more cost effective than it would be on Google. All right, there you have it. Visit us today at usleadnetwork.net. Call us for a free consultation with me. I've written 2 books on healthcare internet marketing now. I've done this for 10 years. I can really help your practice. We have 5 teams who do everything from content to custom design and development, HIPAA compliance, you name it. Thank you very much. I'm Dr. David Green. Have a